Welcome back to another video. For this video, for this portion of the cloud series, we're going to be going over analyzing business requirements for a cloud solution. A few things we're going to cover: differences in cloud environments, cloud requirement analysis factors, and testing techniques in the cloud. Very surface level kind of versions of them. For instance, like the first thing I'm going to cover is cloud requirement analysis factors. So with building a cloud infrastructure, business considerations can take a few forms. This is like budgetary requirements, software licensing and agreements, right? And hardware purchasing and logistics when considering on-premises infrastructure, at least. Now, if you picture a scenario where a private cloud infrastructure struggles to serve customers due to increased demand on the servers or resulting in poor user experiences, right? In this case, it should be a business requirement to switch this infrastructure to a public subscription because servers hosted by a CSP would be under the service level agreement that dictates a certain percentage of uptime, right? That would be considered, as well as the current infrastructure not meeting user needs, but both are considerations that should be considered before an infrastructure is built, right? So what I'm going to do now is actually calculate a composite service level agreement. So which spans multiple different products and services offered by Microsoft Azure as well as AWS. And we'll actually take a look at both actually. So you might be surprised actually that composite SLA numbers are as low as in the individual SLAs. However, a solution that relies on multiple services has more potential failure points, thus the guarantee is lower. But nonetheless, now that we're in Azure here, I actually need to head to a particular website. Let me open up a new tab so we can take a look at that service agreement. Full service level agreement, right? Take a look at the application gateway. And as you can see here, we guarantee that each application gateway cloud service having two or more medium or larger instances or deployment capable of supporting autoscaler zone redundancy will be available at least 99.95% of the time. It's a guarantee. So click back here. All right, let's take a look at the, there it is. All right, so for example, let's assume we'll be using a virtual machine with two instances, right, deployed across different availability zones, right? So at the top here, we can notice that Microsoft is given the SLA guarantee of 99.99% of the time. Now, availability zones are, as I mentioned on another video, there are different locations that house the physical aspect of the resource. For example, if we were to create a virtual machine, right, based on the UK South Zone, it would create this resource using hardware based in that area, and each availability zone is formed one or more data centers and maintained physically by Microsoft. But nonetheless, we're going to take a look at another one. So let's see, and take a look at app service. Right, and again, for app service, we'll see here in a second the guarantee for the SLA. The guarantee that the apps running in a customer subscription will be available 99.9%, 95% of the time, right? As far as a guarantee. And we're going to look finally at, let's see, scroll back up here at storage. There it is. All right, perfect. And again, guarantee at least 99.99% of the time for service availability as far as the access tiers that they'll successfully process requests to read data from read access geo-redundant storage accounts, right? So nonetheless, that's for Azure. Now we can actually take a look at AWS as well as far as their service level agreements. Now, there are differences in cloud environments, right? So different infrastructures can be used for different purposes in both inside and outside cloud environments. Now, depending on business needs, always first and foremost, right, we may need to investigate like developing an infrastructure that's used as a testing bed before deployments are implemented directly to end users. Now, typically such environments form part of a wider development operations or DevOps strategy that could be built in both private and public clouds. So what I'm going to do now is just investigate the development and disaster recovery tools available in AWS. Now, AWS, while I'm doing this, waiting for the server to load. Now, it has different DevOps tools available that can be implemented in different environments as set out by business requirements, including tools for development, staging, blue, green, and QA environments, right? Quality assurance. Now, what I'm going to do is investigate different developmental tools available in AWS, such as AWS Code Build and Code Deploy, as well. Once this is loading for us. Up there it is, right on schedule. All right, to be able to sign right in. All right, perfect. So let's take a look at developer tools here and Code Build, like I mentioned. And I don't have permissions. Now, in a real world scenario, unfortunately, this will also depend on the type of permission assigned in this infrastructure. But for the purposes for me demoing this, I'm going to investigate the different options available here, right? So let's actually get started, right? And let's see the benefits and the features, right? So just taking a look at, I'm taking a look at what sort of environment this tool offers. So as we can see here, right? Now AWS Code Build allows a safe, um, usually a safe sandbox environment for testing purposes, meaning that it acts as a great DevOps tool. And this can be utilized in many different testing environments, such as development, staging, and blue green. Although the exact implementation of this tool, right, would depend on the specifications and the structure of the infrastructure, right? So let's actually take a look at deploying, right? Here. I'm going to take a look at also the benefits and features section of this page as well. Actually, I like this one, the way it's laid out a bit better. But nonetheless, now this tool, what it does is it allows easy deployment of code and allows safe sandboxing testing, right? That just as with Code Build, this allows developers to deploy code to development and QA testing environments, then also to staging and production once the deployment has passed through the tested phase. And now I'll take a look at just a few of the benefits and features, right, for deploying and Code Build. I'm going to investigate disaster recovery in AWS. Now, alongside offering tools for developing different environments, AWS also offers tools to assist administrators with disaster recovery using tools like Elastic Disaster Recovery or DRS, however you like to word it. But you can also set, or we can also set service to have DR enabled on a subscription basis, as well as manage failovers and log off reversions, right? So I'm just going to take a bit of investigating with that. So let's take a look at our services, right? And our storage. There we go. Disaster recovery, that's simple. And we see this. Okay, that's not what's supposed to happen. Let me cancel that actually. Let's see. DNS domain. All right, so I was able to get everything up and running, but now I'm at the AWS Elastic Disaster Recovery splash page, right? So I'm going to take a look here, right? And I'm going to take a look at the source servers, all right? Check it X spread out. But nonetheless, this brings us to the source service page, right? And how it works is in a real world scenario. Now, provided if let's say I have proper permissions, I can set a source server or the server that currently stores data and access to source, right? So to have disaster recovery enabled. Now, this would then initiate secure data replication through to another server managed by the CSP. Let's take a look at, let's see. should be. I'm kind of limited here because of the permissions that I have. So I want to take a look at, oh, never mind, I'll take a look here. That's fine. Now, this just shows us different instances, or would show us different instances if it would load for us when a source server has been replicated normally. Now, if we take a look at the history, is this just normally, again, for some reason, it's taking a while to load, just provides a list of each and every data recovery job that has been initiated either by whomever is taking a look, depending on again what permission you have, or by the admin. And this allows you to keep track of when the data, what data has been retrieved from a failover state. And let's actually take a look here. Now, this settings page is actually going to allow you, again, whoever has the permission to, but you can say I'm not authorized to perform this operation, or an administrator to configure different replication settings for the source service, and even with documentation, right? So it just tells us here briefly what the Elastic Disaster Recovery is, and it just provides us, or would provide me with an overview of the disaster recovery process and how to safely operate the tool in real world environments. Now, nonetheless, this brings us to the end of the video. Unfortunately, I want to do some testing techniques in the cloud, but unfortunately, I'll have to get to that in another video. But just for a brief recap of overall what we've done, we take a look at analyzing business requirements for a cloud solution. And we looked at some cloud requirement analysis factors, differences in cloud environments as well. And again, I wanted to get into some testing techniques in the cloud, but like penetration testing, but I'll get to that in another video. But again, thank you for watching. If you're still here, can't wait to the next video. Where I go over configuring and managing cloud identities. Until then, stay curious, stay secure.